Man, that was so funny what just happened to me. So funny because the whole thing I'm talking about, all right, it always freezes. The whole thing I've been talking about is when I started to do these lives, I was like, you ain't gonna get no views, nobody knows you, whatever. I was like, just keep doing it. And then I did a card read and I said, well, what's going on? Because I want to start explaining card reading because a lot of people think it's some weird mystic thing, which I guess it kind of is, but it kind of displays my connection to the universe. Not that I'm bragging, we can all have it, we can all do it. It's just something that I've been doing for a long time. And I did it, and then I realized as I was recording, I didn't have my mic plugged in, which goes into all of this, and so I had to like delete that and do another one, which is just so funny. When I did ask the universe about like doing these lives, it said this. And what it is, this is the Five of Wands, which is a man who is running against obstacles with all these little foxes, clever little foxes trying to trip him up, right? And so today I went up to check out my PO box, and it said that I had got a cord then because I want to hook eventually a microphone up because I love my little Joby, but for whatever reason it comes out a little low on the live. So I know if I get a microphone that I have that has a bass boost on it, it's an EV microphone, and I know that it will sound a lot better and a lot crisp. And I said okay, and the universe said get ready for a lot of obstacles to come your way, and it just threw me one right now when I looked and my microphone wasn't plugged in. So anyway, I got this adapter. This is the TS adapter, and there's a couple things you're gonna want to know. Is you're gonna need three. If you can see there, it's got three lines. It needs to have four like separations in order to go into your phone and work. If you go down to Walmart, which I did buy one, it only has two lines on it, so it's gonna have three separation. You need the four. Okay, that's gonna plug into your phone. This comes with two different jacks. Okay, it comes with a microphone jack, and it comes with headphone jack, right? So I bought a XLR cord, which this cord is the cord that goes into your mic. This is a female XLR cord, right? And it comes with a this is a 1/4 inch jack, which you see the guys when they plug in their microphones or they plug in their guitars. But you need a mono. You need a mono jack. So this is one black. It's gonna have one black ribbon on it right there. You see that? And a stereo has two. So I bought this and I was like, okay, but I made a little mistake because this doesn't fit in here because this is a quarter jack. I thought this was going to be a quarter jack adapter, like a universal adapter. It's not. So you're going to need to buy an XLR cord, okay, that will go into your microphone. It will go into your microphone. You'll be able to plug it in. It'll snap in like that. And then this cord will be able to go, but it needs to be a 3.5. Are you listening? A 3.5 millimeter jack, and it needs to be mono. It means it needs to have one little black line, okay? And then that will plug into that adapter, and you can plug it into your phone, and that'll work, okay? And this is gonna go into what I'm talking today. Today, what I'm talking about. It was funny because the other day I had my friend call me, and he was like, "Yo, have you heard anything from the job?" And I was like, "Well, not really." And he's like, he was just asking me like, "What are your plans?" I said, "Well, I'm looking for a job." I said, "But honestly, I don't think I'm gonna go back to bartending." He goes, "Why?" I go, "Because after 2020, it really gave me an idea to be able to see how stupid people were." And I hate to say that, but it's true. It's like, and it was just kind of like we had this conversation. And I go, "Well, luckily I'm 41. I don't really need to go back to work. And bartending, I don't need the tips. I don't need all that. I just, when I do return back to work, which I will, I will be satisfied with the $15 minimum wage, working 3 to 4 days a week. I'm not going back to full time. And it will be more like a hobby just to pay the bills and put a little cash away. Because, luckily I've been working my whole life and I have put away a little cash." And he was like, "Well, they didn't raise it to the $15." And I go, "What do you mean?" And we're in San Diego. And I said, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "They didn't do it." So I grabbed my phone and look at it, and I'm like, "Yeah, they did, dude. What are you talking about?" He's like, "Oh, and this is why I've been saying this is the war of the whispers, because it's the battle of the information." Because I said, "Man, where do you get your information from, dog?" And he goes, "Oh, my dad told me." And I was like, Really?" I was like, "Dude, that's messed up because do you understand, like, because his dad whispered it to him, that he whispered it to me, that it could have just changed my whole plans and everything, you know?" And that's how detrimental the war whispers. That's how detrimental the information is that we're getting that's going along out there, okay? And this is why I've been saying this, is that I don't think people are necessarily dumb. I just think they're low on, they don't research things. People don't research things, okay? That's the problem. And I thought about it, and I go, think about it when you hear research. I got to do a research paper, man. I can't go to that party, man. I got to do a research paper, man. I got to do this. When I see my archangels moving, let me try to do something real quick. Let me do a little this. Try to put a little bit more light on them. Anyways, sorry. He's probably just moving, whatever. Anyways, so anyway, research paper. What do you hear when you hear research? Research is not what it was back in the day, I guess. I don't know what day you're from. I'm 41, so 20 years ago or whatever, when you're in college, you got to do a research paper. No, research now in 2021 is very easy because people do it for you. And this is why the censorship has come over 2021 and 2020, because all you have to do is go on these platforms and find people you like. And I'm going to give you a list of people that I like, that I trust, because the problem is the information is getting censored. And they did a poll the other day of Americans, and they said out of the poll, 83% do not trust the mainstream media. And right now, the mainstream media, if you want to know, like CNN, Brian Stelton, they're not even doing the news. They're basically trying to deplatform Fox News. They're like, we're just going to get rid of our enemies, and you have no other way to just you have to look at us. You have no other option. And it's like, no, you have a ton of other options, okay? A ton of other options. And all you have to do is find these options, subscribe or like, and then they'll come up in your feed, and you can take 10 or 15 minutes out of your time to view these people, because not only maybe they do an hour podcast, they chop it up into 10 different, like 10-minute segments. And I'm going to give you a list right now. And when I say research, all I do is sit there and watch these entertaining people that I enjoy watching give me their perspective, and then I look at other ones and see what they're saying, because usually they're all going over the same topics. Okay, so research in 2021 with smartphones and computers and everything is a lot more different. It's not like what you used to think. I worked in the library. I worked in the library back in the 90s, 98, 97 in Seattle Community College, up in North Seattle Community College. So I know how the system works. I worked in the ancient time where you had, viewing rooms, and you had to rent a viewing room, and you'd get these these chips and all this weird stuff, and you have these slides, and back in the day when you had to search for information. But not anymore. You can have a multitude of people look for information for you, and you just watch their 10-minute clip. And I'm going to give you the list right now. Okay, I would say top of the list is my boy Dan Bongino, and he's getting big. He does have a show on Fox. He just got it, but he started from the bottom. Now he's here. He started from a basement. Okay, him and his producer and his wife, and now they're getting big. But still, Dan Bongino says it. I work my whole life. I save my money. Nobody runs me. Nobody controls me. And this is what this is really about. And this is why I love him, because I've seen this, and I've done videos where I said, I ran around, I saw the cabal, and I saw how they go out there and they're in society and they come chase us and everything, and it sounded all supernatural, but really was just a bunch of idiots that are like trying to manipulate society, because they were very scared. Because when Napster came out, when all this stuff came out, and they were starting to realize, like, whoa, we don't have control over this. Like, people are just pirating stuff like crazy, the internet. And then this is really where this is all started from, back when the internet came out, and they're just like, how do we control all this? How do we control? Because they're used to making the records and the cassette decks and everything. It's just digital, and they're just like, and this is where this is really all started from, this thing that I'm talking about. And where they started sending people out, like the record industry, to go stop the like in Hip Hop Evolution on Netflix, where they sent out people, ground troops, to shut down all the people that were bootlegging tapes and cassette decks and stuff. All right, and so now we're here, and so they're really scared right now because they can't control anything. So my number one guy for information is gonna be Dan Bongino. Okay, because he's just hitting it. He can't be bought. He says it all the time. Okay, now I'm gonna give you 3 more people that I really trust for information. Okay, and these were all at one time liberals. They'll admit it. You got Tim Pool, who's really, really cool, and he was total liberal. You've got Anomaly, who is just out of this world with facts and everything he does, and then Will Johnson. These are all 3 independent people that at one point said they were liberals, they were Democrats, and they were on the. Will Johnson will say he was on that Democratic plantation that have basically over the last couple of years have moved more towards conservatism. Especially Tim Pool over 2020, he literally was like, I can't do this no more. With the defund the police, the riots, the BLM, the craziness, he finally was like, look, I'm not gonna, go crazy and but I can't do this no more. And you got to see the evolution of him to be a little bit more moderate. It's not even about being conservative, just being more of a moderate in the middle. And that's where a lot of people need to come back to. Come on back, come on back, come on back. And now we got a couple more guys that I really like on the news, and they're a little bit more of conservative, but they're also very, very entertaining. It's David Harris Jr. and Graham Allen. And Graham Allen, both of them are very entertaining, but Graham Allen is actually like a comedian. You know, he does have some things where he goes off, but Graham Allen is actually very, very funny. He does these like 5 to 10 minute videos every like couple of weeks where he just makes fun of everything, but he gets his political point across. And he's also running for like Congress or something. So there's a new paradigm that's coming, a new shift that's coming, and this is why we are where we're at right now, because the old control mechanisms of just Fox News and CNN, your nightly news, are just losing their grip, okay? And they're going nuts. It's like I said, if you look at Brian Stelter, he's not even doing the news. He's just literally trying to get Tucker Carlson deplatformed. And that's where we're at, and that's what's going on. So now you got to realize research, when I say research, isn't research. Research is finding some people, like I just gave you a list, and just starting to follow these people and just watch them a little bit. Oh, and I got to tell you, the icing on the cake, the cream of the crop, where I get the best information, because this guy was deplatformed and he went and created his own platform, is Alex Jones and the InfoWars. Okay, him, Orange Schwer, and the American Journal, and a bunch of them. They are awesome. That is the tip of the spear, the tip of the iceberg. Alex Jones was deplatformed for a reason. All these doctors and all these people over 2020 that got deplatformed, they got their Twitter erased, whatever erased, Facebook erased, were able to speak out on his platform because he's independent and free. And that dude is the truth. And don't be scared to go over and look. And now when you hear conspiracy theory, look it over twice. And in that category with him, I want to put the X22 report, okay? I still follow the X22 report because that guy was talking about Q before it got hijacked. I'm not a Q guy. But the fact that the mainstream media has been talking about Q, white supremacists, and trying to use it, Q has gone dark for like a year. There's been no posts. So if you see a post of Q, I go to X22 report because he'll let you know. He's literally like warning people. He's like, yo, be careful of false flags. Yo, Q hasn't been saying anything. Yo, do this. He's geopolitical, which just means world politics. Okay. He's also geofinancial. He talks about a lot of different things, and he's a pretty cool guy to listen to. Did he predict things? No. He just kind of said these could be coincidences, whatever. And so I still listen to the X22 report. I don't follow everything. I don't do anything, but I listen. If you just listen to the list that I gave you, that is a large spectrum of people, from Dan Bongino to supposed conspiracy theorists to all kinds of stuff. People who keep an ear on Q, because that's how I keep my ear on Q, because then I want to hear the mainstream media when Brian Stelter's like, QAnon people wanna, white supremacists they wanna, and I'm like, no, Q has not said anything. Like, that's why I keep my ear to it. I'm not like putting Q on my eyeball or anything, you know what I'm saying? Because it totally got hijacked. And they want to weaponize it. So just like they did November 6th, and that's falling apart, they're trying to create stuff. This has been a giant attack, okay? And what they want to try to do now is put you back to sleep. Come on back to sleep. And they've whipped you, and they've whipped you, and they've whipped you because they want to whip you into submission. We're like, come on, man, I'll just put the jab in my arm, man. Just like a crack fiend. Just put the jab in my arm, man. I'll do anything. Just go back to normal, man. I'll just do anything. Go back to normal, man. I got some cheeseburgers. You want some cheeseburgers, homie? Remember the homie from Menace Society? I'll do some cheeseburgers, homie. Come on. That's how they want you, like a crack fiend. Oh, just come on, man. Just give me, come on. Here's some cheeseburgers, man. I suck, yo. That's what they did to you. They've tried to whip you into submission. But people like me and other people said enough is enough. No more. No, we won't do it. And we're trying to grab you back. And the fact that they've done a poll and 83%, which I would have been one of the 83%, said the mainstream media is America's biggest enemy, is telling you that they know. They're looking at that. And they're at the point now where they just don't even care. They don't even care. Don Lemon, Chris Cuomo, Fauci, Dr. Anthony, our president, Dr. Anthony Fauci, the president of the United States, because the medical company Baxim is our president, doesn't give a crap about you. They don't give a crap about you. And you got to look back and be honest with yourself at this point. Because if you ain't, we just going to keep spinning in this circle. We're in Groundhog's Day, whatever you want to call it. That's where we're at again and again and then again, and then again. Now there's encouragement. I went up when I was in San Diego and I went into Walmart and you had the option to wear the mask, but it's still like you have to be fully vaccinated. You can't go into this motherfucker. It's like one of those drug commercial, you know, before you go into Walmart, it's like you got to look at the drug commercial at the end. We're like, this is going to be great. Everything's fine. Look at the old person walking in the park. Look at the little kids playing together. But this could lead to internal bleeding, anal leakage, eyeballs bleeding, non-sleep. Anal assassin may come in the middle of the night and anal assassin you. Things could go real dark when you take this drug. But, with that being said, take the jab. Anyway, what my whole point was, getting into some research. And research doesn't mean you're going to the library. Research just means looking at some new people. Stop, get out of your routine. If you come home and you just watch the 5 or 6 o'clock news, they're in on it. They're not doing any in-depth reports on what masks can do to you. They're not doing any in-depth reports on what the other type of cures and medicines that you can use. No, they are a part of the agenda. They are a part of the cabal. And the cabal will fall. All right. Anyways, I'm out. Peace. I got to figure out what to say tomorrow. I'm sure I'll come up with something. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Bye-bye. Dr. Fauci. We got a mother Fauci. We got a mother Fauci's. Mikey, we got a mother Fauci's. Peace out.